What's up, everybody? DMH with another installment about inking. Detailed inks and heavy inks. A lot of people ask what kind of pens I use. I use Faber-Castell. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Faber-Castell Black. I usually use a small, an extra small, a medium, and a brush, which is S, XS, M, and B on the pens. You probably could have figured that out, but just in case you couldn't. And basically I use the smalls for most of my work. The majority of my work is done with the small. I go through smalls about every 2 or 3 weeks. I use the extra small for really fine detail work. I use a medium to kind of put borders in, and then I fill in those borders with the brush. I create the borders so I don't go out of the lines with the brush, because the brush is a little bit harder to work with. This is my Skeletor and Friends piece, and I've been wanting to do something He-Man related for a while, especially with the villains, because I think Evelyn was possibly my first crush in real life. Until I found out she was like thousands of years old when she took her helmet off in that one episode. Not sure if you remember. Whatever. Not a big deal. But I've been wanting to do it for a while. And another thing I've been wanting to do is I've been trying to get rid of my hash line work. I'm just not happy with it. I feel like it's dated. I feel like it definitely shows my age, and the fact that I grew up in at least when I started drawing heavily in the 90s. I just kind of feel like that age is over, and I am a bit out of touch with that. So I've been trying to fade it out. I purposely did not use any really here, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I try to use a lot of heavy blacks. One of my biggest inspirations is a guy named Jay Lee when it comes to inking. And if you're into comics and stuff, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But, not to be confused with Jim Lee, who I also love. But Jay Lee is his stuff is very dramatic, and I love his use of blacks. And he's not afraid to use them whatsoever. He blacks stuff out all the time, and it just ends up looking beautiful. So I really was trying to go for a little bit of that, not copying his style or anything. It's totally different, but just using him as a bit of an inspiration for the overall goal I was trying to achieve. And this is Evelyn here. Now I knew when I was doing this that I wanted to have a bolt of lightning kind of coming between Skeletor and Triclops. So I knew it was going to be Skeletor, Beastman, and Evelyn was going to be lit on their right, looking at it their left, but their right, their proper right, and Triclops and Trapjaw would be on their left. So the shadows are heavily placed on the opposing sides where I knew this light source was coming in. With Evelyn, I was a little bit intimidated because I have such a connection to that character, and she's always been pretty cool to me. And I think I've drawn her once before, but not in any sort of serious capacity. And there's a lot going on with her with shapes, like the shape of her head crest and all that kind of stuff. That's it's like one of those things where if you don't get it right, it throws the whole thing off. And a lot of it comes to perspective and so on and so forth. But she's not maybe as maybe I should have maybe added some more blacks with her. She's maybe not dark enough, but I think I got the crest right for sure. And then this is Beastman here. The challenge with him was the amount of textures that he has. There's skin, and then there's fur, and then there's like heavy hair, and it's a lot of line work. But I think it came across. I'm actually really happy with it. I think it came across quite nicely. The hair, basically, I just used a trick. I put that gem in the middle of his chest, and then I just spiraled the hair out from that gem. It just gives it a little bit more life, as opposed to like it all flowing down. So some of it's kind of flowing up, some of it's flowing sideways, some of it's flowing sideways. But it just gives it a little bit more life. It makes it feel a little bit more interesting. My thing was I wanted to make it look updated, but I also wanted to make sure it felt like the original. So like, a lot of people when they do Beastman for like modern quote unquote art, they have him like fully engulfed in hair, like a Bigfoot. And I think that's really cool when people do it well, but I did not want to do that. I wanted to make it look closer to the original. So for better or for worse. There's a lot of things I wanted to try with this, and line work and textures and stuff like that. Really trying to get away from the hash marks, like I said, and I spent a little bit more time in the coloring process. I used 2 shades of highlights and 2 shades of shadows. Actually, usually 3 shades of shadows in the coloring process. It's just different for me. I usually use 1 and 1, so. And I added a whole bunch of extra layers of effects and textures and stuff, and I really wanted to make it seem like they were standing together. I feel like some stuff of mine feels like a bag of Skittles was just emptied out on a page. It doesn't feel cohesive. But I think I really nailed this. And a lot of it came down to this step in the process, which is the skeleton of where so to speak, the skeleton of where the lights and shadows are going to be. And once I had these really dark shadows, these drastic, dramatic shadows in place, I could kind of build the coloring off of it. It worked really well in that regard. So, who knows? I hope it's as well received. I'm actually, I don't know when this video is going to go up, probably Friday, but I'm putting the piece up in approximately 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes from 7:15 on Monday morning. This video sped up 1,500%. I always like to mention that, and it's about 10 minutes. So this took me a while, and it's actually split up over days because I'm not a big fan of the inking process. I like the way it looks when it's done, of course, but I just find it to be a pain because you've got the hard work of the pencils, of actually thinking the thing out done, and then you're looking forward to kind of coloring it for it to really take shape, and the inking part is just kind of like this painful go-between, to get to the stage where you want. I ended up adding some extra lines here that you don't see on Triclops' like little cloth thing there. Just didn't have enough light. You can see it there. That's the finished piece. I'm really proud of this one. Just think all of it paid off. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.